Electric types in Pokemon are known for their blazing speed and hard-hitting special attackers, having the 3rd and 4th highest average for those stats respectively. However, they aren't known for being bulky, as they have the 17th ranked HP as well as the 15th ranked defense, for both of them actually. Having just a single weakness to ground helps make up for that though. Regardless, it's one of my favorite types in the game, which is why I chose it for my first ever mono-type playthrough of Elite Redux. Elite Redux is a difficulty ROM hack with a ton of quality of life features like instant EVs, no grinding, unlimited items, and changing moves whenever you want. The main gimmick though is all Pokemon having 4 abilities at once, and the large variety of new Pokemon. This makes it the perfect game for multiple playthroughs, as there's always new Pokemon to try. The only rule for this mono-type run will be all Pokemon must have the electric type to be on the team. If it's a Mega that gains the electric type after Mega Evolution, it must Mega Evolve on the first turn it can. With that rule out of the way, let's get started. First things first, we gotta change the frame, as nothing is more important to the beginning of a playthrough. After setting the game to the hardest setting, Elite Difficulty, which will determine the difficulty of the teams we face, and Elite Level Caps, which will determine when we unlock certain abilities, moves, and evolutions. Right away, we can choose from a long list of starters, but for this playthrough, the electric type group is what we want. The choices here being Palmy, Shinx, and Alolan Geodude. I end up taking Shinx, not realizing you can get one on the next patch of grass, as well as a Palmy, but at least this forces your rival to have Mudkip. The only electric types in the area are Luxio, Pikachu, Blitzel, and Charjabug. After using them to beat May, we grab Palmy on Route 102 and face the skill check and the first real fight of the game, Youngster Calvin. If you don't have your team set up properly, you'll get humbled quickly. The only ground type he has is a Alolan Diglett, and with our tanky Charjabug, it's not a huge problem. The rest of his team isn't much of an issue, but it does take me down to just one Pokemon. After breezing through the rest of the route, we meet our dad and pick up a new electric type being Flaffy, which isn't too useful for now, but it does have Fluffy, so it can be used to tank some hits. Its true power comes later. As we make our way to Rustboro, we breeze through the NPCs with little resistance. This is before I really make a solid team, since the beginning of the game has you unlocking things so fast that making a full team now is just a waste of time. Due to a bug, we teleport through Petalburg Woods completely, so we don't even need to fight Team Aqua yet. No new electric types in there anyway. On the bridge is the first double battle of the run. The Mono Grass Twins try and destroy you with blazing speed from Tailwind and Chlorophyll shenanigans. Unfortunately for them, we have not one, but 2 of the tankiest electric bug types around. With their very high defense at the time and an Eviolite, not much can take them out, especially ground moves, which are a threat to my team. After them, nothing else stands in the way of me in the first gym. So I check out the remaining electric types in the area, being Stunfisk, Yamper, Joltik, and Tynamo. Stunfisk is actually quite bulky for this early in the game, and its ground typing is great for Roxanne and company. At least, I thought so. I wasn't prepared for the Tyrunt the very first trainer had, and he blew up my team. So I need to have a better game plan. See, normally you can just walk right up to Roxanne and fight her, but in Elite Redux, that's a terrible idea. If you don't defeat the trainers in the gym leader gets insane buffs like random stat boosts or hazards, or half your party just gets burned. So skipping them isn't really an option. This time, I bring a proper lead, Joltik, and set up sticky webs. Still ends up being a close call, but the first obstacle goes down. The other 2 are actually much easier, so we clear them with no problem. All that's left is Roxanne. Her team isn't just spam grass and water moves and win. She has some important threats to deal with, like ground water type Whiscash, an unburdened Bombardier that will throw a crown at us the first chance it gets, and a ground type lead Onyx. So I feel the best counter to this lead is Stunfisk, as it will set up Electric Train on entry thanks to Electro Surge, and with its bulk it can set up the Rain so Sandstorm doesn't help her rocks out. I thought Stunfisk could get the knockout on Onyx too, but with Sturdy, it wasn't going to happen. I send out the little bug Joltik to help out even more by setting up sticky webs for the rest of the squad. 2 of my Pokemon are down before Onyx, but I wasn't even worried. Surfing Pikachu takes it out, and she sends out her other ground type Pokemon, Whiscash, to clean it up. Expecting this, I equipped Pikachu with Hidden Power Grass. Through the Rindo Berry, it still gets the knockout. Don't look now, but the score is tied up. Spikes being up is a plus, as surfing Pikachu in the rain means Macargo is gone too. Thunderbolt destroys the Minecraft pig thanks to Pikachu's generator ability and electric terrain. Tortuga and Bombardier meet the same fate, as there's nothing they can do in the face of this mouse. She had me in the first half, but nothing was getting this Pikachu's way. The first badge was ours. Winning not only raises the level cap to 23, but unlocks another innate ability, meaning all of our Pokemon now have 3 active at once. keeping in mind that the NPCs always have 4, so we close the gap a little bit here. One of the most important Pokemon that we have access to now that the cap was raised is Jolteon. With the de-evolving feature, it can swap between the different Eevee forms and build the ultimate moveset for whatever we want. The difficulty ramps up pretty quickly, and I found this out by getting obliterated by a bug team. I'm like Batman though, so if you give me time to prepare, I'm cooking. The rest of the trainers on this route find this out the hard way. Except for the guy with the Watchhog, who is actually a normal ground type now. Other than that, I'm cooking. We have to stop the Grunt in Rust Turf Tunnel who stole Pico, and his team can be pretty scary with tanks like Clodsire and Muck, as well as hard hitters like Water Gem Kingler and Quiver Dancing Masquerain. Not to mention the fog is up, so stat boosts are removed after each turn. The best way to deal with it is just set some weather up instead, so our lead Stunfisk leads the way. Setting up Rain, Electric Terrain, and Stealth Rocks, paving the way for our double Jolteons to tear through the rest of the team and help us get Pico back. All is well, we make our way to the next gym. I kinda get jumped by May because I wasn't paying attention, and it doesn't go well, but let's not talk about that. Look, we're on a boat. We don't have time to waste as we need to prepare for one of the toughest fights of the early game. The champion Steven Stone is waiting for us. But before that, we pick up what will be one of the best Pokemon in the entire run, Wattrel. For now though, it just sits. We'll have to take on Steven Stone with what we got. He already has a legendary in Genesect, as well as his ace pseudo-legendary Metagross. Aerodactyl with speed not even Jolteon can deal with, and a couple of tanks, so this should be interesting. I try setting up Sticky Webs versus Credilli thinking we'll set up Stealth Rocks, but it's very aggressive. It's also very tanky and takes out my Jolteon as well. The rest of the battle is more of the same. His team is much tankier than I anticipated, so I'll need a better game plan. This failure would end up sparking one of the main strategies of the run. While looking for solutions versus Steven's Credilli, I stumble across the power of Belly Bolt. More specifically, one of his choice abilities, Damp, which was reworked to turn any Pokemon that it touches or that touches it into a water type. And my full electric team loves this. So we jump back in immediately and hit Credilli with a wild charge to make it a water type. After that, a Charge Beam powers up Belly Bolt even more as it tanks all of Credilli's attacks. Steven tries to stop us, and even with a critical hit, Belly Bolt stands tall and round and delivers another knockout. The power of Damp is just too strong, so I keep him for later and take out the Aerodactyl with Jolteon. Relicanth and Lairon go down with no problem, and all that's left is Metagross. This is the Pokemon I was saving Damp for, but surprisingly, Charjabug beats him 1v1 straight up. He's just too bulky for him. Steven gives us a Meltan as a reward, but this is useless to us. Route 110 has a bunch of new electric types for us though. I send Brawly back to the gym and get ready for our showdown. Most of the trainers here have contact moves, and Belly Bolt just fries them once they become water. Quickly, we get to the main event so we can win our second gym badge. Brawly's team isn't straightforward. He has 4 fighting types, but 2 of his most dangerous Pokemon aren't fighting type at all. His lead Noivern is actually a Redux form, which is basically just a regional variant, and is a ghost rock type with insane speed. And his Hatterene is a psychic fairy that sets up Trick Room as soon as it enters the field because of its ability Twisted Dimension. Other than that Noivern, the team is rather slow, so they can benefit from this as well. I bring my new Belly Bolt strat and hope for the best. Unfortunately, a Spirit Shackle crit on turn 1 kinda ruined any plan I had, and the rest of the team would suffer for it. Still did decent though, but I'd have to try again. Without changing anything at all, I hop right back in. This time, we don't get crit, and Belly Bolt is able to beat Noivern 1v1. Redux Bisharp comes out next, and one of our Charjabugs is able to take it out all by itself. Hatterene is nothing without her Trick Room, so we stall it for 3 turns and get rid of it. Electivire, which is now also a fighting type, comes out, and even though we had no trouble with it, I can see the vision. Might be good for the team. The final Pokemon, Hitmonchan, comes out and uses Belly Bolt like a punching bag, not knowing he just sealed his fate. Omolga is able to live with a sash and secure the second gym badge of the run. Unlocking Pokemon up to level 36 and unlocking 4 abilities at once. It's finally time to get to the lab and put a team together. It's time to really start cooking. But before we get to that, let's get the Museum Gauntlet out of the way. In this game, it's a 1v3 against Team Aqua with no healing in between. Overall, a 6v10. So a good lead is needed, and I go with Kilowattrel, who has a great matchup versus Gloom and Low Kicks. Actually going damageless for the first grunt. Kilowattrel, as it turns out, is great for the second grunt as well, taking out the lead Poliwrath. Alolan Raichu also washes away the tanky Swalot. bringing us to the final fight against Archie, the leader of Team Aqua. Lead Crobat is faster than Kilowattrel as it turns out, so we switch to Belly and make him water. Charge Beam is enough to take it out. After some smart pivoting against Delmise, I'm able to make it a water type as well and let Charjabug get the win. Kilowattrel is just too fast for the rest of his team and they stand no chance. We fend off Team Aqua for now, and I take this opportunity to build the dream team. Starting with the leader of the team, Kilowattrel. Its 4 abilities are all incredible. Air Blower, which sets up a 3-turn Tailwind on entry, will not only make it incredibly fast, but helps its teammates out as well. Paired with its innate ability Wind Power, it charges up on the first turn as well, so the first electric move is double the power. Electric Gem Volt Switch destroys a ton of Pokemon and ensures we can set up Tailwind again later. Terminal Velocity also uses 20% of its speed stat for damage, easily one of the best electric types in the game. I bring back my starter Pokemon, now a Luxray, since my team really needs a physical attacker. Intimidate plus Guts should be a good combination for us. Like I said, I saw the potential in Electivire earlier, and we could use another physical attacker. He has 2 amazing abilities. The choice ability Whiplash will lower the opponent's defense on any contact move, which is really good with Stab Cross Chop since it hits twice, but they nerfed it so the defense only drops once. Still makes it stronger. And it also has one of the most broken abilities in the game, Arc Flash, combining Static and Flame Body into one ability and turning the effect chance up to 50%. This is insane, and you'll see just how clutch it ends up being. Alolan Raichu not only sets up electric terrain for the rest of the team on entry, but also activates its own Surge Surfer ability, so it's incredibly fast and hits very, very hard with a Light Ball. Charjabug is sticking around as it's a tanky pivot support Pokemon, but can dish out some damage if it needs to. Lastly, Electros, aka Bellibolt 2.0, is one of the most important support Pokemon you can have. Like Bellibolt, it has the Damp ability, but is actually a strong physical attacker, and has Spark, which is +2 priority, making Pokemon water type left and right and having Flip Turn for slow pivots for its stronger teammates. With the dream team assembled, it's time to test them out. Our rival May stands no chance. Double Spark takes out her lead Swellow, but her ground type Golurk does slow us down a bit. I then realized the mistake of picking Luxray as our starter, as May now has a ground type starter. Luckily, our bird is immune to ground. Electivire's Arc Flash then secures victory as it burns Serena, and it can do nothing against us, sending May packing. Not long after, we run into our other rival Wally. He has some powerful Pokemon like Redux, King Gambit, but the Pokemon I'm worried about the most is Garchomp. However, we're able to take it out and the rest of the team is a cakewalk. Both rivals fall to the new regime. The next gym leader we face is actually doing a mono electric type run of his own. Watson is going to be an interesting challenge as his electric types don't necessarily threaten my team, but we don't exactly threaten them either. The trainers in his gym are a good test, and I quickly find out that the main problem with fighting other electric types are abilities like Volt Absorb, which removes most of my stab moves. It's not anything we can't handle though. We finally are ready to face the electric type master, Watson. He's the first gym leader to not only use a legendary Pokemon, being Tapu Koko, but the first to use a Mega Evolution as well, with Mega Rapidash, a feature we won't be unlocking for quite a while. He also has Iron Hands, which we must prepare for. Leading with Tapu Koko ends up hurting him as Alolan Raichu can not only outspeed it, but can one-shot it with Hidden Power Poison, bringing out the Electric Ghost Redux X-Cloud. It's extremely tanky, so I switch to my Luxray, hoping to take it out with a Guts-boosted Stab Night Slash. Unfortunately, Luxray is not beating the Trash Can allegations anytime soon, as it only does half damage and dies to a Boom Burst. It did bring him down enough that Kilowattrel can set up Tailwind and KO with Volt Switch. I choose to bring out Raichu as it's now the fastest thing alive, and he responds with Mega Rapidash. Little does he know that this Raichu is surfing. Arc Flash burns us, but it's not a real problem. Then he sends out Clawitzer, who is also weak to Surf. I bring it down to Sash, but Raichu goes down. Electros finishes it off with a Spark, and then the last threat, Iron Hands, comes out, which is exactly what I want. I make him a water type and show him what a real fighting electric type looks like. Electivire's Thunder Punch plus Arc Flash cheese is enough to take him out. His Raichu stands no chance against our Damp Electros, and we secure the 3rd gym badge of the run. The level cap now raises to 45, unlocking a few new moves for the team. It's the end of the line for Luxray though. He's just not good, and I found a much better replacement with a faster, hungrier physical attacker in Bolthound. After fighting some trainers in the area and looking for new electric types, we make our way north. One thing to note though is that all the Pikachu clones are located in the game corner, but I can't stay for too long as the slots will be calling my name. Maybe I should have stayed though, because the first double battle up north absolutely demolishes me, not once, but twice. Admittedly, this team wasn't really built for doubles in mind, but it really wasn't built to fight Kecleon, which is an S tier Pokemon now. Its high special defense and color changeability, giving it resistances or immunities to every type in the game, makes it quite the challenge. The best strategy was just ignoring it until it became a 2v1. Kecleon is just too broken to face this early on. None of the other trainers on the route come close to this level of difficulty, and we breeze through. Trainer Wilton is a nice test of strength, as he has a full team of 6 that's pretty well built, including 2 ground types and a lot of speed. I try to use our damp strat on the lead Aegislash, but stance change actually resets its typing, so we gotta find another way through. Kilowattrel is able to defeat it while it's in its attacking form, and has enough speed to take out Galarian Darm as well. Electivire with the Tailwind to his back is able to bring Garchomp so close to a KO, but has to settle for a trade. Again, another clutch Arc Flash. Tailwind just ended though, so I bring Kilowattrel out, and it collects 2 more bodies and brings Weavile down to Sash. It's pretty much GG's after that. This fight really shows me how powerful we are in 6v6 fights, and despite not planning for them, we aren't too bad in doubles either. With no Kecleons in sight, we quickly make it to Meteor Falls, where the first mixed battle of the game takes place. We team up with May to stop Team Magma, and it's one of the few times non-electric types are going to be on our side. With Kilowattrel setting up Tailwind for the both of us, the land lovers are dealt with swiftly. But that was just the beginning of the Team Magma conflict. We rush over to Mount Chimney to deal with the rest of them. Going into this run, I knew Team Magma would be a problem with their plethora of ground types. And I was correct to worry, because the very first grunt destroys me thanks to Typhlosion and its insane priority fire moves. Really, it was just a misplay on my part, since Bolthound had ground shock, meaning it could have removed its priority with Spark. But learning from my mistakes is my superpower, and I ripped through the rest, quickly reaching the boss Maxie. His team has 3 categories: 2 powerful special attacking dragons, 2 speedsters, and 2 mega evolutions. Alolan Raichu ends up being the perfect lead for us. Stab Psychic is able to one-shot Niaganadel before it can move. Since he can't resist sending out a Dark type against a Psychic type, we can easily take out Hydreigon as well with a hidden power. Lycanroc comes out next, and without its Focus Sash, it too would have fallen to Raichu. Electros finishes it off and brings out Mega Venusaur, which I quickly turn into a Water type. Charjabug takes advantage of this mismatch with an electric terrain boosted Thunderbolt. And the second Mega comes out, Camerupt, who does a little bit of damage but really stands no chance. Maxie is no longer. Trust me though, he'll be back later. We make it to the next town and prepare for gym number 4. The gym now has a lot less confusing design, but it's worse in some ways. Before, you could walk right to Flannery without having to fight anyone, but now we have to fight everyone. And every single trainer has full teams of 6 with strong Pokemon and strategies like Sun teams. Now, only the first one really gave me trouble, but the fact it took an hour and a half to get through them all is insane. Replacing Charjabug temporarily for Drizzle Lantern certainly helped. I got off to a terrible start versus the double battle and paid the price for it. With the proper lead, the fight isn't that hard and we can finally battle for the 4th gym badge. Flannery has quite a few problematic Pokemon we'll need to deal with. First being her lead, Walking Wake, who resists our electric moves, has multiscale, insanely strong moves, and can't fall victim to our damp strategy since it's already water type. There's also Redux Arcanine with extreme speed, Entei with extreme speed, and a special Flaming Soul ability giving all fire moves +1 priority at full health, pairing perfectly with Volcano Rage as every fire move used triggers an eruption after. 2 different Megas and a Focus Sash Ceruledge certainly puts us in a tough spot. The first time fighting, I learned the hard way that damp wasn't going to work. Because of this miscalculation, Walking Wake tore up most of the team. With the only ways of stopping Entei already gone, I had no chance. So the second time, I decided to lead with the Captain Kilowattrel, Volt switching into Lantern to drizzle the sun away. Not realizing Lantern's Volt Switch was faster, I nearly get Kilowattrel killed coming back in. The third Volt Switch does the trick, and Entei immediately follows. Even though Electivire was faster, he couldn't get the win, and Beast Boost activates, threatening to sweep again. Our Electric Dog is just better and gets a clutch flinch. Otherwise, he was cooked. Yet again, another Flaming Doggo comes out, and with a pending E-Speed, I switch to dampen the flames. Still have to risk it all, hoping Raichu lives in E-Speed. And with no flinch, she makes it. Kilowattrel is able to remove Ceruledge, leaving 2 Mega Evolutions. Even though Mega Wiggly is a bit on the tanky side, a Volt Switch into a Thunderfang is enough to take it out, leaving only Mega Charizard Y. If I can just remove the sun, then it's pretty much screwed. And that's exactly why I kept Lantern alive. Hydro Pump drowns him, and it's over. The 4th gym badge is secured. There's very little time to settle down as the 5th gym is what immediately follows. The great thing is, we now get Mega Evolution, and there's no question which Pokemon I want. I told you before that Flaffy would unlock its true power later, and now as a Mega Ampharos, it's one of the best Megas in the entire game. The base form sets up electric terrain on entry. Then the Mega form has Transistor for more electric power, Overcharge to make electric super effective against other electric types, and Fluffy to increase its physical bulk even more. With access to Tail Glow and Shockwave, which is now +2 priority, Ampharos can sweep through teams with ease. The most underrated part is the Mold Breaker hitting through abilities. Volt Absorb, Motor Drive, and Sturdy mean nothing, so even less things can stop a sweep. Alolan Raichu is retired as the new era begins. Right away, Ampharos' presence is felt as it flies through the gym leader grunts, with little resistance. So in about half the time as the last gym, we make it to the leader, aka our dad. Even though he's family, I gotta be completely honest. His team isn't that great. Mega Ursaluna is scary admittedly, but the rest of his team is very manageable. We start off by letting our tail glow and eating a 1-inch punch from Kangaskhan. Shockwave is enough to take it out, as well as the Choice Scarf Boom Burst spamming Exploud. Finally, he sends out the Ursaluna, so we're gonna have some problems. The only real solution is to make it a water type and let one of the heavy hitters deal with it. Kilowattrel is more than enough and also helps the whole team speed up, giving Amphy the edge over Bawarden. After making Mega Bayonet a water type, the fight is all wrapped up. Persian is usually scary unless you have a dog with Spark, like me, so we end up with the victory. 2 badges earned in rapid succession. Since we now have Surf, we can go to the Mono Electric Run Paradise, aka the Power Plant, to pick up a ton of new electric types, including our first legendary of the run, Zapdos. We also pick up a Rotom, which will be one of the best electric types of the run. Rotom Wash not only has Damp, giving us another Pokemon that makes Pokemon water type, but it actually has Shadow Sneak, so it can change ground types a lot easier. Zapdos also comes along as our new Drizzle Pokemon. The second battle with Steven Stone is waiting for us, and I actually have a good game plan for it. After forgetting to bring my Pokemon up to the right level, then forgetting the right move, I can finally execute said plan. Faking out Kleavor to break the sash, and Surf takes it out. Amphy is able to beat Dracovish without even Mega Evolving. Then Magearna shows up, and it's a big problem. Fairy-type Boom Burst and Soul Heart is enough to sweep me easily. That's why I brought Magnezone, who can take it out using Hidden Power, and the Multi-Head ability letting all moves hit an additional 2 times. I also put Shockwave on it so it can break Iron Valiant's Gallantry ability, which basically gives it a free hit before taking damage, leaving it vulnerable to Kilowattrel's power. After Mega Aggron accidentally makes itself a water type, Kilowattrel is able to swoop in for another kill. Lucky the Rotom then makes its debut and liquefies his ace Metagross. That is hopefully the last time we see him until the end. After making our way up the route, we stop at the Weather Institute where Team Aqua was up to no good. And in all honesty, Team Aqua has very little to threaten us with. And most of their teams are made up of water, so they just get destroyed. The admin Shelly actually has a really solid team on paper, but again, we just match up too well against them. Even her Kaiosea fails to check us with Lightning Rod because Mold Breaker just goes right through. Unless it's another 1v3 situation, this is not the evil team I'm going to be worrying about. After stopping their plans, May is waiting to fight us for the final time. She leads with a Swellow, so it's pretty easy to take out her lead. Golurk again is a big problem, and I must sack my Damp Pokemon Rotom. With that sacrifice, Kilowattrel can do what it does best. Her Mega, Redux, and Empoleon is quite scary because of Freeze Dry, but Electros is able to tank the hit and get the KO. Serena also goes down due to her also becoming a water type. And one of the last things we have to deal with is Mega Swampert. Ground type plus immune to the Damp strat is something to watch out for, but we get the super clutch burn from Arc Flash. An Air Slash flinch and an assistance from Zapdos brings it down no problem. Goodra is the final Pokemon and we narrowly escape with a quick Shockwave. I'm so glad this is the last time we need to face her team. After getting the Devinscope from Steven, we can make our way to the Flying Gym. This gym only has 4 battles at least, so it goes by rather quickly. 2 of the battles are single battles, and they stand no chance against the power of electricity. The 2 double battles were a bit different. The pair at the top of the gym showed me that ice types might be an issue going forward. The other pair of trainers on the right side let me conduct one of my best comebacks. I didn't realize that they were leading with double Mega Evolutions, so I end up losing my Kilowattrel, and switching turn 1 put me at a huge disadvantage. I had no way to deal with Mega Salamence with Tailwind to its back and a +1 in attack. Chat was even calling for a reset. Reset? Nah, I ain't resetting. We're gonna pull this one out, okay? Trust your boy. Trust your boy. We gonna pull this one out, okay? This is gonna be the comeback of the century. Even though I lost another Pokemon, both these Megas were Water types now, meaning there was a window to succeed. One turn later, they're both gone. With nothing but a bunch of Flying types left, suddenly it's in our favor. Zapdos continues putting in work as they seem to think Electros is the threat. Once it becomes a 2v1, that's all she wrote. Only one Flying type expert left, and it's Winona. From this point, all gyms are double battles, so we need a good game plan. Winona only has one Mega, but does have 3 Legendaries and a Tailwind setter, so I need to be careful. So I lead with a brand new Electivire with the new item Swirly Glasses, turning all physical moves into special and vice versa. This will let him use Priority Shockwave and it not suck, which will hopefully hit twice, taking out Focus Sash Velozel. Amphy's base form has Dazzling, so Fake Out won't be used, and it will be taking out the Pharaoh. That plan kind of falls apart immediately as Electivire won't get the kill, so I protect instead, and Amphy gets targeted anyway. Winona sends out her Mega Aerodactyl, which is actually not ideal since it loses the Dragon typing upon Mega Evolution, so electric moves become super effective. However, Electivire's Thunder Call ability activates, hitting it with Smite, which removes the Flying typing, letting it live an attack from Ampharos and destroying Electivire with Dragon Rush. Kinda what he deserves, to be honest. Eventually it does go down though. Moltres is out now, but this Velozel is really annoying Amphy with Ice Spinners, so it's gotta go. In the meantime, Rotom makes Moltres a Water type. Only the legendary Pokemon are left, but are no match for my team of electric monsters. The level cap is raised, which unlocks most Pokemon's final moves. With Kilowattrel now learning Bolt Beak, we decide to drop Zapdos for another Kilowattrel. Swirly Glasses makes Bolt Beak its most powerful special electric type attack, and choosing the ability Impulse instead of Air Blower, our non-contact moves will use the speed stat for damage. Basically, its physical moves are now special and use the special attack stat for damage, and the special moves use the speed stat to calculate damage. It's a strong Pokemon on its own, but even better with assistance from the other Kilowattrel. We now face a long gap between gym badges after getting 3 of them pretty quickly. After dismantling the crew team on Mount Pyre, we again run into Team Aqua, who's up to no good. And again, the admin stands no chance against us. We then learn that Team Magma's up to no good and need to stop them. This is the part I was most worried about, as this is essentially a ground type dungeon. I even end up losing to a grunt with Golurk and Mega Grimmsnarl. Second time was the charm though. The rest of the grunts aren't too bad, but my god are there a lot of them, and they have full teams, so this ends up taking way longer than it should to get through. At the end of it is a double battle versus the admins, which can actually be pretty tough with their Mega Steelix and Mega Redux Houndoom. Getting off to a good start against them helps tremendously, and we end up getting a KO and Parahax flinch. Their Sandy Shocks is a ground type, but since it was nerfed by cutting its move pool, it's not a threat. The only thing we have to worry about are the 2 Mega Evolutions. As long as Lucky the Rotom is able to make Mega Steelix into a water type, we should be fine against them. Now for the fight I was most worried about, Maxie. He has quite the team. 2 Paradox forms, Walking Wake and Great Tusk, 2 Mega Evolutions, and a Primal Groudon. And the Niaganadel lead this time has a Focus Sash. We'll need to pivot around our Pokemon very strategically. So we start with Electros so it can remove its stab damage with Spark and hopefully get some damage in. Electros actually ends up winning the 1v1. And before going down, we're able to make Mega Venusaur into a water type. Kilowattrel is enough to get the revenge kill and set up Tailwind, leading to Rotom versus Mega Camerupt. He was able to remove its stab, but couldn't get the kill with Thunderbolt, and I can't risk losing him right now. The Bolt Beat Kilowattrel has to finish the job. Half his team is down, but I would argue that his best 3 are left. Primal Groudon is the main Pokemon who I needed to make a water type, so I switch into Rotom hoping he would live a V-Create, and he doesn't. The damage is done as Kilowattrel is able to take it out. Great Tusk is the last ground type and has pretty bad special defense, so we're able to remove him with Dual Wing Beat. The last Pokemon, Walking Wake, is the scariest. With Assault Vest, Multiscale, and solid speed, it might finish off my entire team. I need Tailwind, so I decide to do a risky switch to Amphi so it can at least remove Multiscale with Shockwave. Mold Breaker allows it to do more damage than I thought, and we end the fight with a Volt Switch. One of the scariest fights of the run is now officially behind us. There's another hideout we need to go through, but it's just Team Aqua. By this point, they literally stand no chance. This team is just too good. Making our way across the ocean brings us to Moss Deep City, the home of the 7th gym. A Psychic type gym heavily focused on double battles. There are 6 double battles before we can face the leader. Again, this team really wasn't built for doubles in mind. Surprisingly though, we do well against all of them, only losing to an inverse/trick room team. You just need to outlast them and it's not too bad. Good thing it's not permanent or anything. Well, that's exactly how the Tate and Liza fight is. Permanent trick room and permanent inverse room. Their team is extremely fast and has very little weaknesses in these conditions. Mega Slowking is one of the slowest Pokemon in the entire game and is virtually unkillable with special attacks. Not to mention it sets up Psychic Surge, so priority won't even work. Mega Slowbro is virtually unkillable with physical attacks and has Unaware, so setting up is almost useless. Calyrex Ice Rider is a huge problem as their only physical attacker and can quickly get out of hand with its As-1 ability, boosting its power with each kill, and Stamina boosting its defense with each hit. I have to create a new team entirely just for this fight, which is not easy considering the average speed of electric types. And it does not go well. Alolan Golem doesn't hit as hard as I was hoping, and I really didn't have a plan for the Calyrex. I would have to come up with a much better game plan to get through, so I had to be creative with this one. I go back and manually catch a Tynamo so I can have an electric that's below the level cap. That way it's targeted more and is slow enough to go first. Giving it an Iron Ball guarantees this. Then I grab not one, but 2 of the slowest electric types in the entire game, being Pincurchin. Their Electro Surge ability will be the best defense against Psychic Terrain and Expanding Force. I bring back an old friend Chargebug, who I never leveled up past 50, so is slow enough with Iron Ball to outspeed their whole team. Plus, the ability Battery can really help the star of the show. Mega Ampharos is actually quite slow, and with the power of Parabolic Charge, not only healing it up, but hitting both opponents, it's the perfect Pokemon to get us the victory. So here's how it went. I lead with Electric and Ampharos, hoping to draw attention to the underleveled eel. Unfortunately, Expanding Force will hit both of them anyway, so I decide to bring in Pincurchin to replace the terrain and Tail Glow with Amphi. It works perfectly as they both target the Pincurchin slot and it ends up living. A helping hand boosted Parabolic Charge wipes out everyone on the field. With Expanding Force off the table, I bring back Electric so it's once again the one being targeted. But that's not its main purpose because any Pokemon could fill that role. It's actually there to use Scary Face on Amphi, which will make it the slowest Pokemon in the entire fight, allowing Mega Amphi to outspeed and destroy everyone on the field with Parabolic Charge. I bring out the Battery knowing that Mega Slowking is coming, so being slower, I immediately use Electric Terrain with the Bug to erase the terrain. And with Battery power, Parabolic Charge once again wipes the entire field. And in just 4 turns, we defeat Tate and Liza, earning us the 7th gym badge. I thought this would be the hardest battle on the island, but Team Magma is making their final stand at the Space Center. Bringing back our normal team, we're able to get through the trainers in the lobby, but waiting for us upstairs was one of the hardest fights in the entire run. Like in the museum with the beginning versus Team Aqua, we are jumped with a 1v3 battle, but this time it's much worse. Each trainer has 3 Pokemon, including a Mega. The first is Mono Fire, the second is Mono Ground, and the last is Mono Poison. Our team just can't handle that. Losing too many Pokemon to the first grunt leaves us too weak for the Mono Ground grunt. We'd have to come up with a team specifically for this 1v3. So I decided to use Pikachu power, grabbing the Mystery Gift Partner Pikachu, which will Mega Evolve into this chunky beast with 120 speed, 85 attack, and huge power. Then I go to Lilycove to grab the Bell Pikachu, which is now Electric Ice and has better stats. After that, I get a Raichu, which is ground electric type in this game. Bringing back Zapdos and making a new Kilowattrel and Rotom is enough to get the job done. Leading with Kilowattrel lets us get off to a good start as Thunder takes out Rotom and Flying Gem Air Slash takes out Fanfernal, which is Gourgeist's new evolution. Zapdos with Drizzle Hurricane is able to take out the Mega Centiskorch. 2 trainers to go. The next is the ground specialist, but it's not as scary without sand being up, so I sack Zapdos to make sure it's raining. I make Hippowdon water with Rotom and fry it with Thunderbolt. Predicting a Sucker Punch, I switch to Bell, who uses Ice type Fake Out and outspeeds with Surf. Mega Sandaconda without Sand is pretty easy and goes down in one shot. One grunt left. Mega Pikachu is enough to take out Mega Garbodor, basically securing the victory. We bring back the normal team and beat Tabitha one last time. The final Team Magma fight awaits. It's a mixed battle with Steven Stone, and with his team now being upgraded, it's not as bad as it was in previous versions. I bring 2 Rotoms and a Kilowattrel for this fight. Using Astonish turn 1 versus Groudon not only makes it a water type, but flinches it as Steven's Iron Treads one-shots Raging Bolt. Shadow Sneak stops Priority Eruption from Redux for Uniclus, leading to another Mountain Chunk one-shot. Before Rotom goes down, I make Mega Charizard a water type, eventually making it a 2v1, and it really doesn't matter what max he has left. Team Magma is finally defeated, and only one evil team stands in our way. So we make our way under the ocean to finish the job. Admin Shelly is defeated in less than 3 minutes, so right away we get to face Archie for the final time. I don't even need to prep for this fight because I already know how it's going to go. Mega Ampharos immediately takes out Raikou, Primal Kyogre, and Iron Moth. Wo-Chien goes down to Kilowattrel, and then Amphy comes back to stop Mega Sharpedo and Mega Redux Garchomp. It doesn't get much easier than that. As we head to Sootopolis City, the main story is concluded and we are in the final gym, which happens to be water type. This won't be a walk in the park though. The final gym is not only a double battle, but is a 6v12 as it has 2 parts that you must do back to back with no healing. First, we get through the gym trainers where there are 3 different 6v9 battles. Add this to the list of reasons why I won't be nuzlocking this game. It doesn't take too long though, and we can now prepare our strategy for the final badge. Like I said, this is a 6v12, so in the first fight, we take on Wallace and Juan's B team, equipped with Pokemon like Mega Urshifu Rapid Strike, Kaiosea with Lightning Rod, Manaphy with Parental Bond and High Tide, meaning water moves hit 4 times, and a Mega Kingdra. Most of them have Swift Swim, and most of the time it will be raining. Next, we face their A team, facing Pokemon like Primal Kyogre, Mega Redux Garchomp, Mega Swampert, Volcanion, and a Tailwind setting Kilowattrel. This will not be easy even with electric types. So I decide to bring 2 Kilowattrels with Air Blower as well as Helping Hand and Thunder, 2 Redux X-Clouds with electric type Boom Burst, and a Choice Scarf to hopefully take out multiple Pokemon. Of course Mega Amphy because it's goated, and Heliolisk's new evolution Helimodo as it has Drought to stop rain as well as solar power. It also gets Solar Beam so it can take out Pokemon like Swampert as well. It's really fast and hits like a truck, and even though it's part fire, Dry Skin makes it immune to water. No time to waste, let's get into the final gym battle. We lead with one of our Kilowattrels and one of the X-Clouds. Rain immediately goes up thanks to Politoed, but the main concern is the Redux Reuniclus with its priority fire moves. Sensing an eruption, I protect Kilowattrel and send out a Boom Burst. Reuniclus ends up hard focusing the bird with Flamethrower as both of them get blasted by Boom Burst. The frog goes down and Reuniclus now loses its priority. A powerful Volt Switch paired with another Boom Burst is enough to remove not only Reuniclus but Mega Kingdra as well. Since Kilowattrel also has Volt Absorb, it's not affected by Boom Burst at all. With only Kaiosea and its Lightning Rod in the back, I use Volt Switch to bring out Mega Amphy. I can't lose Amphy to Boom Burst, so I bring out Helimodo to not only stop the rain, but stop Manaphy's Swift Swim, and I Shockwave the Kaiosea through its Lightning Rod for 4 times super effective damage. Of course it goes down, and the greedy little Manaphy goes for a Tail Glow. Helimodo is the fastest on the field now until Mega Urshifu finally comes out. This thing has 170 in attack, Swift Swim, and 150 in speed by the way. What it doesn't have is good special defense. So it goes down to a Shockwave before it can blink as Manaphy is evaporated by Thunderbolt. Just like that, the first fight is over without a casualty. A major victory, but the better team is up next. This time they lead with 2 of the most powerful Pokemon in the game, Primal Kyogre and Mega Redux Garchomp. With no stab ghost moves on the Garchomp, I feel like Kilowattrel will be the target of a double attack since it's so fragile. I protect, and I Boom Burst to get the most damage possible. The Garchomp goes down, but Kyogre is too tanky. Luckily it goes for Sheer Cold on our protecting bird. The perfect turn 1. Turn 2 is even better. Volcanion can't handle the power of Boom Burst, and a powerful Volt Switch is enough to take Kyogre out as well. In only 2 turns, we've reduced their team to just 3 Pokemon. Again with the Volt Switch, I bring out Mega Amphi as they bring out Swampert and their very own Kilowattrel. Air Blower to their back is a bit concerning, but taking out Kilowattrel will lead to a 2v1, so I shockwave it down to its Focus Sash as I bring out the other Redux X-Cloud. I thought Seismic Fist would come for Amphi, but his eyes were set on X-Cloud, so he goes down. It's kinda perfect since we just lost Tailwind, so I bring back our bird to set it back up. Sensing Priority Jet Punch, I protect the bird and Shockwave to finish off theirs. With only Swampert left, I just need to get Hilimoto in safely, so I Hidden Power Helping Hand for a bit more damage before Amphi goes down. Solar Beam hits so hard that it doesn't even tell us the damage. Golisopod can only use First Impression on one of us, so it's over. The 8th gym badge is ours. Feel free to copy this strat for your own playthroughs. With us hitting the final level cap of 80, we're able to make the final push to the league. Victory Road has a ton of powerful new Pokemon for us, like all the Paradox forms, and various other legendaries like Raikou and Raging Bolt. The other thing that Victory Road has are a bunch of tough 6v6 battles. Almost too many of them, to be honest. Our rival Wally is the first one though. Like many battles though, Mega Ampharos puts in heavy work after getting a Tail Glow, taking out his first 3 Pokemon and bringing Mega Latios down to half. Pretty much GG's from there. After we descend into Victory Road, we go through each trainer one by one. Some are harder than others, but nothing this amazing team can't handle. Until we run into a double battle specializing in our main weakness, Ice. Believe it or not, Ice is way more of a problem than Ground because 3 of my Pokemon are weak to Ice, and 2 others are weak to Freeze Dry or Sheer Cold. Ice Shard also destroys the fragile birds, so I knew this would be an issue. The first attempt just does not go according to plan at all. Blizzard in double battles just blows up the team twice as fast, so I need a better lead. Secret Power Steel can one-shot the Ninetales, and setting up Rain helps out tremendously. The Nightmare Pokemon Mamoswine comes out, as well as Articuno. I need the double switch to start making them water type, but Sheer Cold is a concern. After taking out the Mammoth, we have to deal with the new Mega Frostlass and its ability that lowers both of our attack stats. A fat Volt Switch removes it, and after getting lucky with some Sheer Cold misses, we somehow sneak out of this fight. Really had to lock in on this one, but now the impending fight versus Glacia looms over my head. Still have to get through this cave first. No one else stands up to this team. It's just too strong at this point. And it's about to get even better as we find the final member of the team, Iron Exo. Even though it's replacing Electivire, we gotta give him his flowers. He's been here since Badge 2 and was clutch in many situations. Thanks Electivire for your service. And we get to the final battle of Victory Road, and it's Calvin, the very first trainer we faced on this journey. His lead Pokemon is Kecleon, and it's pretty much unbeatable since it has the most broken ability in the entire game, Prismatic Fur. Increasing its defenses, changing its type to resist every attack, and Protean for stab on all moves. Yeah, it's nuts. Luckily, 2 of our old friends, Jolteon and Alolan Raichu, have skill swap, so we can make this broken ability ours, and it's pretty easy from there. We made it. Only 5 more battles separate us from becoming champions, so we'll need the perfect 6 Pokemon to get through all of them. The team will be pretty much the same as before. 2 Kilowattrels for Air Blower speed control and power. Our 2 Damp Pokemon, Rotom Wash and Electros to help get rid of problematic matchups. The best Mega around, Mega Ampharos, and the final new team member, Iron Exo. A future Paradox, Ghost Electric type Scizor. His Volt Rush ability gives all electric moves +1 priority at full health. Pair this with his innate ability Artillery, and all Mega Launcher moves like Zap Cannon will always hit. I give it a booster energy, but if it comes out after Mega Amphi sets up Electric Terrain, it can save it for later in the fight. If you made it this far in the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more in the future. With the team set up, it's time to go in. The first fight is with the Dark-type Master Sydney. He has a few legendaries like Yveltal and Darkrai, as well as 2 Mega Evolutions. I wasn't really stressing this fight. I lead with the newest member of the team and quickly show off exactly what it's here to do. Taking out Mega Redux Alakazam instantly. King Gambit comes out and I go for Zap Cannon, thinking it will waste a turn for Sucker Punch. It did not. I'm already sensing blood in the water, so I go with Mega Amphi and Tail Glow. A Paraflinch makes it completely free. Shockwave not only takes it out, but also takes out Chi-Yu. Darkrai was the only thing that could stop Amphi now because of its sash. With Electric Terrain up though, we couldn't sleep, so it goes down in 2 shots. No hope left for Sydney as the rest of the team falls to this majestic Mega. 1 fight down, 4 to go. The Ghost expert Phoebe is next and has way more problems to deal with. She has 2 Mega Evolutions and 4 Legendaries including a Fusion. We need to get off to a good start versus this Giratina. Shadow Sneak from the washing machine removes its stab as well as the benefits it gets from the fog. Hoping to chip it down a little bit with Shockwave doesn't last very long as Ominous Wind at double power because of fog crits us. Giratina's Soul Eater ability erases the damage we did as well. Kilowattrel sets up the Tailwind for us while also taking out the Pokemon Devil. Going to Electros, she sends out the perfect opponent, Dawnwing's Necrozma. We can make it a Water with Spark and break Shadow Shield, allowing Electros to live a Prismatic Laser and getting another Spark in before going down. Even without Tailwind, Roliv is fast enough to remove it with Bolt Beak. Unfortunately, it's not faster than the Mega Redux Houndoom that comes out. It has Contrary and a ghost version of Overheat, so it will become a major problem very quickly. A sacrifice had to be made, and the only way to stop it now was to hit it with a Thunder. Already risky enough, but the fog is also giving Houndoom an evasion boost. Against all odds, somehow it hits, and it's gone. One potential disaster avoided as we face another. Mega Gyarados X is a monster of a Mega Evolution and needs to be dealt with quickly because its signature ability, Funeral Pyre, will destroy this team. Moongeist Beam from Iron Exo is enough to get rid of it. Yet again, another disaster as Pheromosa comes out instead of Marshadow. She blocks all priority and is much faster than Iron Exo. We have no choice but to hope that Amphi survives. Amphi does survive and a Shockwave goes through Queen Majesty. Shockwave followed by a Zap Cannon on Marshadow gets us through the second battle. A close call, but the toughest fight still awaits us. The Glacia battle is here, with our biggest enemy Ice, 3 Megas and 3 Legendaries. Her lead is by far the biggest problem. Mega Lapras is the best Ice Mega in the entire game and is virtually impossible to take out with special attacks, which is what my entire team relies on. Not to mention it has Recover and Freeze Dry, which takes out 5 of the 6 Pokemon on my team. There's literally only one thing I could do. We'd lead with Iron Exo and hurt the rest of her team by removing Hail in favor of Rain, giving Thunder perfect accuracy. The only move left is to use Destiny Bond, taking us both out. Iron Exo is actually the only electric type in the entire game with Destiny Bond. Now it's an even fight. I bring out Kilowattrel to give us some speed. Sashed Shenpao counters us pretty well, so I Volt Switch into Rotom expecting an Ice Fang. Instead, a Crunch takes Lucky out. Electros avenges the loss. Tailwind still being up allows for Super Fang on Articuno, taking it down to 50% and making it a Water type. Sheer Cold missing and having a Focus Sash brings it down even lower. Rain still being up means Thunder is free. Gurm White erases that though with Snow Warning. Little does Glacia know, this is the Pokemon I was hoping to see, as Hidden Power Rock plus a Rock Gem is enough to one-shot this fusion. Only 2 of the Megas remain. Mega Dugong is first up, so we Volt Switch out as we may need Tailwind later. Sacrificing the other bird is the only way. Air Blower comes up and Thunder hits, but we go down to our last Pokemon. The last Pokemon happens to be Mega Amphi though. Shockwave takes out Dugong, leaving a 1v1 versus Mega Redux Beedrill. Living the Ice Shard brings on Parabolic Charge that one-shots the bee. Glacia, our greatest counter, is defeated. But is she really the hardest battle? The final member of the Elite Four, Drake, has something to say about that. Having 4 cover legendaries is just insane. The fact his entire team resists electric is also another huge problem. It's gonna take the whole team. Drake leads off with not just a Dialga, but the Origin form, so it's basically a Mega. Basically nothing can one-shot it, so it will usually set up rocks. Roar of Time also works like Dragon Tail now, so setting up is pretty much impossible. I lead with Iron Exo, and swapping out its ability Volt Rush for Dual Wield allows him to get to +2 special attack as the rocks go up. Dual Wield makes all Mega Launcher moves hit twice, so Charge Beam can be used to double special attack, giving Moongeist Beam enough power for a KO. Drake then sends out the Emerald Legend Rayquaza. With a devastating attack incoming, I switch the Rotom to at least make it a water type. Lucky gets lucky and lives the V-Create, giving it a chance to do more damage with Shockwave before going down. This is the perfect opportunity for Amphy to give us electric terrain and get a priority knockout. Another Dragon Steel type comes out, being Mega Haxorus. I believe Amphy can live the dual chop because of Fluffy as long as we don't get crit. Amphy lives even with one crit and answers back with Parabolic Charge followed by Shockwave. Kyurem Black comes out next and goes for a 2-turn Freeze Shock, allowing for a 1-hit KO from Parabolic Charge. Somehow Mega Amphy is running through this team. Another Ice Dragon shows up to stop Amphy's reign of terror. Not before we can get off a little Shockwave to break multiscale, and it missed, so we get in another Shockwave. Electros then does what it does best and dampens Baragong. Iron Exo finally comes back in and gets the Quark Drive boost because of the terrain, allowing Zap Cannon to finish it off. Koraidon is the only Pokemon left. With both my birds in the back, I get a quick Shockwave in before they both finish off the legendary lizard. Drake goes down, and we're one fight away from victory. Steven has some great Pokemon like Zacian, Zamazenta, and Mega Mewtwo, but he's also known for being a pretty underwhelming champion overall. So I wasn't worried at all. Let the final fight begin. The start couldn't be any easier. Kartana's ability, Violent Rush, makes it quite powerful in the first turn, but a simple Protect stops this. Follow that up with a Hidden Power Fire, and it's cooked. Steven, sensing he's in danger, brings out the big guns. Zacian is one of the Pokemon I would definitely prefer gets damp, so I switch into the Eel and make it happen, even getting a little damage and paralyzing it. Priority Zap Cannon from Iron Exo finishes it. His ace, Mega Metagross, wants to quake the earth, allowing for a free switch into the floating washing machine. It's damp time. Losing stab damage on Psychokinetic Slam keeps Lucky alive. We need to keep this damp Pokemon alive, so I sacrifice one of our birds. Iron Exo is welcomed back in and gets a KO. Mewtwo spawns, and its Psychic Terrain is a huge problem as it blocks my priority. Wanting to get Amphy in clean to erase it, I need to sacrifice my other bird. It's not a total loss as we now have Tailwind up. Amphy does its job, but can only manage about 45% of Mewtwo's health before going down. Hello again, Iron Exo, who now has Quark Drive activated. Mewtwo has to come face to face with a Zap Cannon. Heatran is next, and to my surprise is able to be one-shot by a Zap Cannon, leaving just one Pokemon left. Zamazenta, the greatest physical wall in the entire game. I saved Lucky for him specifically and send out one last damp. And somehow, Zamazenta can't do any damage to us. With just a quarter of its HP, Rotom is able to 1v1 Zamazenta and get the win. We did it. We beat Elite Redux at the highest difficulty using only electric types. It's a bittersweet ending, honestly, because I really love this team. They beat pretty much every team on the first try, and most of them were there through the entire journey. I'm gonna miss them. Once again, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more. I'm currently doing a mono ghost run, and if you want to watch the full journey as well as this one, consider becoming a member and a part of Fidough Gang. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.